Alright, so how's it going, guys? I got another conspiracy video for you here. Now, I've done a video on this before about the death of Thui Trang, the Yellow Power Ranger, but I totally firmly believe at this point that Jason David Frank murdered her. So I want to go ahead and go over this again with you. I'm sorry if you have to watch this again if you saw my last video, but I really think there's a lot of critical evidence here, so I'd really appreciate it if you could stay with me. If you piece the pieces together, what I have to say makes a lot of sense. So let's go ahead and start from the beginning. Tui Trang, um, what's his name? Austin St. John, the Red Ranger, and Walter Jones, the Black Ranger, they started a strike in the 90s on the original set of Power Rangers because they weren't being paid enough by the greedy Jew known as Haim Saban. He paid them pennies per episode. It's disgusting how low they were paid. And so they were part of this movement. Jason David Frank was not. Jason David Frank is a little fuckboy cunt. He's a little Haim Saban ass kisser. And he's been in Power Rangers more than anyone else. The guy's obsessed. He probably thinks in his head he's a real Power Ranger. He's crazy. I've met the guy. He's a weasel. We'll just put it that way. So now you know the rundown on that guy. The guy is obviously not right in the head, so that should give you a clue right there that he could do something very twisted. So basically, after Haim Saban refused their protest, they all left the show and then started Power Rangers Zeo. Jason David Frank was part of Power Rangers Zeo. He was still doing his thing. He was still getting that, those pennies just so he can feel like some big shot. But eventually, he was off. After Zeo, that's when, or I'm sorry, I believe it was after Turbo. After Turbo, then Jason David Frank left. So now Jason David Frank is gone, and also the the pink Power Ranger, Amy Jo Johnson is gone, and so is the blue, another scumbag. I met this guy, David Youst, I believe his name is. The guy's a scumbag. He's friends with Jason David Frank. They probably have ass sex together, disgusting subhuman filth. But anyways, so yeah, Jason David Frank no longer feels like some special superhero. He's addicted to money and power, guys. You have to realize just how much money and fame will corrupt a person. They'll make anyone a backstabber. They'll step on any sort of head they can to get to the top. So at this point, Jason David Frank, in his little head, in his little peanut brain head, he's probably thinking, okay, I got to do something here. I want to stay famous. I want to be, this big shot. I don't want to lose my fame. So what does he do? He calls a hit. That's right, guys. You can do that in Hollywood. It's a sick and disgusting place run by filth, and you can have someone sacrificed for fame. The Illuminati, guys, is a real thing, and they control Hollywood and show business. So I've made other videos about this too. You can check those out. But I know for a fact now, this guy is a murderer. He had Thui Trang murdered. Mark my words. This guy is scum. He's less than scum. Okay, he's scum at the bottom of my shoe. This guy is a coward. I've met Jason David Frank. The guy is a complete weasel. He's not right in the head. You can tell he's obviously been corrupted. Not a good guy. Just we'll put it that way. Not a good guy. And so I know for a fact he would have no problem doing this. Even if he and Thui Trang were close, that means nothing at all. When it comes to gaining fame and money, people will put that aside. Believe me, at the end of the day, it's all about business. So, and from what I hear, now I can't prove this, but I was talking to a guy about this, and he was actually Thui Trang. When she left that show, she had to go back to a restaurant with her family-owned restaurant. And Jason David Frank, being the scum that he was, he would actually go there to eat. He would have her serve him food, fully knowing, they were on a show together and she was part of that protest. She would serve him food, and I totally believe this. Now, look, I can't prove that, but I just thought I'd throw that in there. The guy that told me this, he seemed like a pretty legit guy. We were talking a lot on YouTube, and also, Jason David Frank, he owns this karate place where I live. He has a few different karate schools, And oh my god, dude, he's such a scum piece of shit. Like, I met this guy, and he is just, there's something not right with him. Like, him and his co-instructors, they're just shady people, like real shady. And I'm not judging with MMA, but they have that real sort of like MMA mindset of testosterone and, you know, getting people hurt and stuff like that. I sparred with one of his co-instructors. His name was Jason Felton. The guy was a complete asshole. Jason David Frank basically watched while I got my ass kicked, did nothing about it, and after the fight was over, he yelled at me saying I didn't have enough experience being in the ring, if you can believe that. So guys, listen to me. Never meet your heroes. A lot of famous people, unfortunately, they've just been sucked up by the greed of money and fame, and it's just completely deteriorated their minds, made them into something less than human. And I totally believe he had Thui Trang murdered. Reason is because, and I failed to leave this, I failed to mention this. After she was murdered, he was back on the show. He was back doing other episodes like Dino Thunder, Forever Red, and I believe there was one more he was on. I don't quite remember the name of it, but he got his fame back. He got his wealth, and it's because he had her murdered, guys. This is what happens. And he was even on the Power Rangers movie, that new one, which pissed me off. You know, that completely ruined the whole movie for me, knowing he was in it, even if it was just a small segment. He was on the show. He was on the movie at the very end. Him and Amy Jo Johnson, who is a piece of filth too, by the way, a sellout. She pretended like she wasn't even part of Power Rangers just because she had a few creepy stalkers. What kind of scumbag does that, you know? To even though I'm not a fan of Haim Saban, to completely betray the Power Rangers name just because you don't want to deal with a few stalkers. I mean, that's so cowardly and lame. And I have no respect for Amy Jo Johnson. To me, she's just a big coward. And all of a sudden, you know, she acts like she loves Power Rangers just because she knows she has, you know, nothing left and she's no longer famous. She goes back to Power Rangers, you know. There's a video of her on YouTube. She's wearing her little pink Power Ranger suit and playing her little guitar, singing a happy song. Ho, ho. You know, I'm friends with a murderer. And, you know, it's just so sad and pathetic. Guys, listen, man. At the end of the day, Satan is very real. And you can see him in the faces of certain people. And I swear to God, when I met this guy, Jason Frank, I felt the devil. And I know it may make you laugh and it may sound corny, but like, I could feel evil. I could feel the devil looking right at me in the eyes and saying, you know, that's right, bitch. I'm real. And I'm doing all kinds of twisted shit in this world. And I could feel evil in this man's eyes. It resonated in a way that I've never really felt with many other people. Sorry, that was my Google Plus. Don't check yours. I need to turn that off. But anyways, I just completely ruined the moment here with that. But look, guys, I'm ranting here. I think I've said enough. I think you understand where I'm going with this theory. All I can say is, guys, listen, don't support evil. If you're following Jason David Frank, unfollow him. He doesn't deserve your attention. Even though most people who are fanboys of him are just autistic guys in their 40s, he doesn't deserve any sort of attention. So, and you know, you guys know what a shallow person he is. He's done all kinds of stupid crap. Like at some poll like that was taken of who's the best Power Ranger, he threw a big fit because he wasn't chosen as the most popular Power Ranger. Austin St. John was. And you know, that stupid feud with Austin St. John, how he offered to fight him $50,000 just to prove himself. The guy's a scumbag, guys. Okay, you need to understand that. He is a fake. He's a phony. And the world is full of fake people, man. You guys just need to wake up and smell the coffee. Some of you guys, I think you know, but you're just still, I guess you're lying to yourself because you don't want to believe it. But guys, believe it, okay? I mean, the truth is plain as day. The truth is in plain sight. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. This is Xbox Jared, and I'll see you next time. Peace.